So stand by. So aloha, shifters and light guardians. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Welcome back for some more inspirational team tarot readings. I'm your host, Mystic Spider-Man, aka Brendan. Happy to be able to have you here once again as we get things all set up to be able to tap into the infinite wisdom of the universe and to be able to see what messages the universe has for us today. So for those of you on any platform, go ahead and leave some comments, leave some 1111s if you guys are ready for this first reading. We'll get right into a first reading using the Hero's Journey deck. And again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, we're live on YouTube at the same time. So if you guys click the link in my profile, you guys can tune in on YouTube. And the way how we do this is an opportunity for us to be able to share some wisdom and insight and inspiration to be able to help assist us on our journey, to be able to help us tap into the wisdom of our heart space. And every reading that we do is for whoever's tuned in. It's for the individual and it's also for the collective. So if you guys synchronistically just happen to be tuning in right now, then stick around. There is a message here for you. So for those of you on YouTube, go ahead and drop some 1111s in the chat. Let me know that you guys are tuned in and you can hear me loud and clear. And again, we're going to be working the deck that we're going to work with to start the day. We're going to be using the Hero's Journey deck, the Hero's Journey Oracle deck. So always a good one to be able to start out with. And again, as we get going, for those of you who would like to be able to help support the broadcast and also receive a reading on air, that option is available by contributing on PayPal or on the Patreon. I'll explain more about the Patreon as we go. That's our monthly membership, our Patreon membership there. So thank you again to our Patreon supporters. Thank you again to everyone. You guys help make this broadcast possible. And yeah, with that said, let's get things started as I get our decks all organized and set up here. For those of you on Instagram, do me a favor. Just drop an 1111 and make sure that you can hear me okay. Sometimes, or sorry, Instagram. For those of you on Instagram, drop an 1111 in the chat if you guys can hear me okay. So again, we'll just build momentum up and we'll get right into our first reading. And thank you again to those of you who are joining us right off the start. And we'll be hanging out here for the next little bit. Not exactly sure how long today's broadcast is going to be going for. It may just be an hour broadcast, but nonetheless, we'll be hanging out here. So good morning to those of you on TikTok. Good morning on Instagram. Can you do me a favor? Just drop an 1111 in the comments. Make sure that you guys can hear me okay. I'm not sure if the audio is working on Instagram properly. So Vajira, thank you so much for joining in. Great to be able to see you again. And yeah, for those of you who may be new, for those of you who may be regular, let's get right into it and start off today's Inspirational Team Tarot. So with that said, what we're going to do a quick little meditation. My hair's like all like fluffy. Took a shower this morning. So we're going to do a quick little meditation. And with this meditation, we'll drop into our heart space, focus on gratitude, and focus on the collective intention. Show us what we need to see. So these are readings for the individual and readings for the collective. Breeze, thank you so much for sending the likes. Thank you again to those of you tuned in on TikTok. And yeah, for everybody here, let's just set things up and we'll get right into our first reading. And we'll just do a quick little meditation, and then we'll be hanging out here for the next little bit. Thank you again to our recent Patreon supporters. We're currently at 111 on Patreon, working towards our next milestone of 122. Thank you to Cassius. Thank you to Eloise. Thank you to Lauren. Thank you to Jason. And thank you to Kelly. Super appreciate you guys signing up there. And yeah, let's get things going on. So, yo, Max, thanks for joining in. All right, so for everybody here, let's just do a quick little meditation. And we'll just go with the flow. So just inviting in some nice chill vibes for today. So for everybody's here, please feel free to join in this swift little meditation and to collectively put forth our shared intention. When you're ready, gently close your eyes. As you close your eyes, just allow yourself to be able to connect with your breath. Just breathe here into the softness of this moment. Maybe this is the first mindful breath that you've taken today. Just allow yourself to just connect into the rhythm of that breath. And as you do so, just allowing yourself to arrive into that heart space. And within this heart space, just focusing on gratitude. Gratitude for ourselves. Gratitude for this community. Gratitude for the team. Gratitude for the messages and the space. The wisdom we are here to receive. So with holding this gratitude in our heart collectively for everybody here, let's focus our intention towards the idea of show us what we need to see. Show us what we need to see. We being the individual, we being the collective, we being the team. Show us what we need to see. And so for everybody here, you can speak that intention with your heart, speak with your mind, speak with your words, speak with your soul. Feeling that like beautiful beam of light shooting up into the sky, bringing down that wisdom. Here we go. For everybody, when you're ready, just keep that intention in your heart. Gently open your eyes, return your awareness to the space around you, and feel free to type your wizard noises into the chat. So I'll charge up the deck and we'll get things started. Good morning to those of you who just joined in. Jessica, Ashley, Eloise, happy to see you guys here. And yeah, here we go. Pew, 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 pew. And with the sounds of lightning and a wondrous crack, we shall open up the sky to be able to let the wisdom pour forth so that we can see where it is at. And yet where it is at is where it has always been, because the wisdom is within inside you and me, my friend. And so as we open our hearts and expand our mind, we become the flower that is here in divine time. And so as we split the deck, we shall see what magic will come forth for you and for me. So beautiful. Hey Sierra, good morning. Thank you guys so much for joining in. And I said hey Sierra, and then like my phone's like, are you talking to me? Like my name's Siri. Like did you, like this phone's like so desperate, I swear. Like geez, like I love you too, phone. Okay, all right, let's keep rolling into things. Jessica, thanks for joining in. Again, reminder for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, if you click the link in my profile, from there you'll see the YouTube link. You can easily click that, jump in. The rest of the team is mostly on YouTube. So Jessica, I know we were just chit-chatting. If you want to jump over to YouTube, feel free to do that, and you can say hi, and there's a couple other awesome people in there as well. So, all right, let's see. Oh, this is a cool card that we pulled today. Man, this is like, this card's totally my jam. The first card that we have pulled for today, for anybody who's tuned in, this message is for you, is card number 43, the Magic Zone. Card number 43, the Magic Zone. The exhilaration of discombobulation. Wow, I've never seen a card explained that way. Card number 43, the Magic Zone. The exhilaration of discombobulation. Quick, someone define discombobulation in the chat. Don't look it up, just define discombobulation. I'd be curious to see what you write for that. So, all right, what we're going to do here, again, I'm just getting the book ready. We're going to explain the images on the card. As we do this, again, we'll just kind of go with the flow today. And for those of you who are regulars, you guys know how it works. Feel free to contribute any contributions on PayPal if you guys want to be able to get an on-air reading. That'll be both for yourself and for the collective. And if you guys are ready to be able to join in onto the Patreon, join on the Patreon as we're doing this broadcast, and then you can also initiate a reading for yourself and for the team. And so we'll work towards, I'd love to be able to get one new Patreon sign up today. We're currently at 101, working towards 122. And guys, thank you so much for helping us reach that milestone of 111 on Patreon. So on to the next one, onwards and upwards. All right, let's focus in on this card. We'll keep an eye open for any contributions on the PayPal and Patreon. And yeah, we're all good. We're ready to go. So cool. All right. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, again, I'm talking to the YouTube camera right now. So now is a good time to jump over to YouTube. And that's where the better audio and everything is there. But if you're just on TikTok, I'll still kind of be going back and forth between the two of you. So, all right, let's just take a look at this card visually. Like, whoa, there's a lot of details here within this card. We've never pulled this card on air before, so this one's actually pretty exciting. Again, card number 43, the Magic Zone, the exhilaration of discombobulation. Hey, Jeanette, thank you for joining in. Good to see you again. So this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful image here of this kind of, geez, how do I even explain this? It's like a female figure. It's very artistic, very kind of surreal. Kind of reminds me of like the energy of Mother Earth. A lot of magic going on here within this card, and this beautiful, beautiful, huge moon behind them. And you can see there's kind of like it's almost like, I don't know, there's like another circle in the moon. I don't know if that's like another moon or anything. Again, I'm just explaining the literal what's on the card literally. We'll dive into the reading in a second here. So again, just beautiful energies and imagery on the card. When you guys see this card, how does it make you feel? When you see this card, how does it make you feel? So a lot of reflection, a lot of contemplation, a lot of either like flowers or mushrooms kind of blossoming, and some very beautiful oranges and blues and yellows there going on. So let's dive into this. And again, what we'll do, for those of you who are new, we're going to read from the book, and then from there, I channel in through my heart wisdom some more information and inspiration for you guys. So if you guys are tuned in right now, this message is for you, and that's the beauty of the synchronicity. So yeah, and Jessica was saying discombobulation, a definition of discombobulation, disorientation, disoriented could be one way of doing it, confusion, yeah. Combobulated, what a crazy word. There's combobulated and then there's discombobulated. What the hell's combobulated then? Man, I'm learning new things every day. All right, let's get ready to dive into this. So for those of you who are here, I'll speak from my heart to yours. This message is for you. If anything we say resonates, drop an 1111 in the chat. Card number 43, the magic zone. The exhilaration of discombobulation. This is a quote, I guess from the Bible, Isaiah 11:6. And a little child shall lead them. Oh, interesting. That's all the quote is. Message. The journey back to the ordinary world from the special world of dreams can be disorienting. You're not who you were when this journey began, but yet you are but are you yet to fully integrate your newfound wisdom and become who you will be upon this journey's completion? Just a quick reference there. The idea of like the special world, that's a lot to do with Joseph Campbell's narrative of like the hero's journey. So like the hero kind of like awakens to the magic of the world and then goes to a special world, like goes to Narnia, goes to Alice, goes to Wonderland, example. So awakens to the Matrix. So this might feel like a long stretch of desert, but in truth, it is a magic zone. You are here, you are now, and that's more than enough for a joyous experience. With each step, you are bringing your stories and experiences home with you. As you move from where you've been toward where you're headed, integrate the lessons and blessings you've learned and earned along this journey into every cell of your being. Feel your DNA and your inner circuitry being rewired and recalibrated toward a more expansive yet grounded version of yourself. Your adult ego aspects feels the need to have it all figured out and buttoned up, but the child within embraces the exhilaration of this divine discombobulation and knows that by the time you make it home with the elixir, you will be a whole new version of yourself. Beautiful. And again, like the elixir is actually like, that's another reference to the hero's journey. This entire oracle deck is all about like the hero's journey. So that's where. So absolutely, Jessica, again, saying, and it's cool. So Jessica saying, could be a sign to tune into your inner child. Well, with each card that we do here from this deck that has a dream symbol, the dream symbol for this card is child. Dreams of a child are a message to give yourself permission to play. They may indicate a learning phase or be weaving a new experience into your life. This dream may be giving you permission to access your innocence and connectivity to everyone and everything. Your subconscious is inviting you to integrate feelings of vulnerability, fun, magic, and unlimited creativity into your serious adult endeavors. Mantra. I am filled with vitality as I joyously follow my inner child to the magic zone. So let's dive a little bit deeper here. Again, thank you everyone so much for joining in. For those of you who want to be able to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, feel free to do that at any moment, and we'll keep an eye open for that, and then we'll move into some next readings as we go. I'm not exactly sure how long I'll be on air today, but again, you guys can keep things rolling here with your contributions on PayPal and Patreon, and let's see if we can get that one Patreon sign up today as we go. Oh, oh, awesome. Komel, thank you so much for your contribution on PayPal. Komel, wherever you are in the chat, please feel free to let me know. We'll do this reading, and then we're going to get to your reading next, which again, you'll help initiate it. It'll be your cue to pull the card, but the readings are, again, for everyone. So give a nice thank you to Komel, and just give me 2 seconds here. I just got to click a thing. All right, okay, let's dive deeper into this. So now's the fun part. Now where I just get to kind of like freestyle and talk more about the messages of this card. So, all right, here we go. Okay. So, card, look at this card. Look how exciting this card is as I'm holding it backwards. Hey-o. So, embracing the element of play. That's what this card is about. And I think it's one of those cards that really invites us to be able to reflect on the magic that is all around us at all times. As we move through this journey of life, it's very easy for us to kind of get like sucked into this narrative. Yo, Joshua, good morning. Sucked into this narrative, sucked into this matrix where the magic seems few and far between. We get sucked into this rhythm of the mundane, and a lot of that is oftentimes based on this people that you're surrounding yourself as well. And so with this card, this card's really inviting us to be able to celebrate the fact that if you feel like you don't relate to the world around you, that means that you're changing. It doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong necessarily. It means that you're tapping into a frequency that is quite different from that of the world that you perhaps have been used to. And so with this card, this idea of like discombobulation is usually being able to identify where there's a mismatch in frequency. And so if there's a mismatch in frequency, that means that something's transforming. Something's moving through an octave, something's shifting through an octave. Again, one of the powerful visualizations that I like to be able to use as a metaphor is the cymatic soundboard. Kamal, thank you for joining in. I'm not sure if you heard me before, but we'll get to your reading as soon as we're done this one. Thank you for your contribution on PayPal. So the example of a cymatic soundboard, if you take a cymatic soundboard, you put salt on it, you play a frequency tone, it plays in a harmony, it creates a harmonic sacred geometry pattern on the board with salt and stuff like that. And most of you guys know what I'm talking about. However, when you're shifting between octaves, what actually happens is that it moves into a state of chaos. Like it's like when it's between octaves, it's like, and it's like all chaos. It's crazy. And then just as you turn it into that new frequency, it literally like snaps back into harmony. So if you're feeling discombobulated, if you're feeling disoriented, especially if you've been going through a part in your journey where you've visited the special world, the quote unquote special world, which again isn't so much always the process of going somewhere. It's more kind of like awakening something within inside of you that allows you to see the specialness of the world that you're already in. And so with this card, it's really inviting us to be able to honor the fact that there will be times where we know we won't have things all figured out, where we know that things are a little bit here and there and a little bit messy. But within that place of messiness, again, it gives us a chance to really begin to question what it is that we want to rebuild ourselves as. Not just to be able to kind of just like be like, oh, like whatever happens. But within that process, it's like the caterpillar turning itself to goo before it becomes the butterfly. That as the caterpillar is in that goo, it literally gets the option to be able to choose what type of butterfly it wants to be. So, it reminds me of the concept of annihilation. So, it's basically this idea that, here within this existence, here as consciousness, one of the things that we literally want to be able to do is literally like annihilate aspects of ourselves that no longer serve us. And what I mean by this is like not to completely like get rid of them, but to almost kind of like break them down to their base minerals in a very like alchemical sense, so to speak. Break it down into its primordial form, and then from that rebuild with that base into a new version, into a new structure, turn lead to gold. So this card, again, it's really being able to invite in the celebration and mystery of the unknown. And I know sometimes you guys hear me talk about that quite often, but this card, it's really okay to be able to understand and admit that, like a child, we don't have to expect to be able to have things all figured out all the time. In fact, it's okay to get messy. It's okay to get discombobulated. It's okay to get lost. And it's okay to be able to go through the excitement of not always knowing where you are going. I think, again, it's like our resistance to feeling like we need to have everything figured out that actually prevents us from figuring things out. What if the only thing you need to figure out is the fact that you don't have it all figured out? Like, what if it was that simple? What if it is that simple? Is it that simple? You guys tell me sometimes. And in the process of acknowledging that, like, hey, I'm learning, I'm figuring it out. And I'm excited about the idea that, who I was in the past is transforming into a new version of who I am becoming. And so who do you want to be able to come? And I think it's important to be able to open our hearts, to be able to see the potential of who we can become as someone who is much more creative, someone who is much more tapped into their heart wisdom, much more intuitive, much more capable of going with the flow, much more grateful, much more capable of being able to develop this deeper relationship between themselves and the magic around them. And to be able to know that that magic around them is an extension of themselves. So the exhilaration of discombobulation. So as you go through your transformation, especially if you've gone through a process of like again, kind of like being in some crazy spiritual awakening, and maybe that can be something like going to an event or coming back home from doing plant medicine or something like that, or maybe it's just spending a long night going down a rabbit hole on TikTok and YouTube. Whatever the case may be, as you begin to integrate more of this awareness, allow yourself to kind of feel the parts of yourself beginning to shift and beginning to move and beginning to change. Again, you know, the fate of destruction is the joy of rebirth. Allow yourself to be able to feel those moments where it's just like, whoa, like I can feel a part of me changing and shifting. And again, if you allow yourself to be able to hold gratitude in your heart through that process, it helps you to move into the future with excitement. And that doesn't mean that you won't not be scared. You might be a little bit scared, but that fear may also be nervousness, and that nervousness may also be excitement. So notice how the concept of like fear, nervousness, and excitement, they're almost the same thing, just from a different point of view. So if you allow yourself to kind of like feel into it and be like, you know what, I'm a little bit scared because I'm a little bit nervous, because I'm a little bit excited. So if you can begin to kind of shift into the focus and be like, you know, like align with that excitement, align again, fall in love with the mystery of the unknown, allow yourself to kind of approach things again as this inner child, to be able to be okay with going out in recess and jumping in the mud and getting totally dirty and not having it all figured out as to whether or not you have extra clothes for that day. You know, it's just like, whatever, you just live in the present moment and you do it. But again, even in that moment, you give yourself the gift of the experience. That who do you want to be? Who do you want to be in that lifetime? Do you want to be that person that by the time they're on their deathbed, they're just like, I'm so glad I never jumped in that puddle of mud, because it would have been such a shame to have been in a situation where I didn't have any clothes to change into and I didn't know what I was doing and stuff like that. I'm so glad I dodged that experience. Or do you want to be the person that's just like, you know what? Relatively speaking, if I see a puddle of mud, you're damn straight I'm going to jump into it, because life is about the experience. Life is about the joy. Life is about the play. Life is about being able to really be in one with that magic. And that magic isn't something that's just like an experience one-off. It literally like awakens something inside of us. The more we can give ourselves permission to play and relate to this magic, it actually kind of like develops this relationship where the magic of the world begins to reveal itself to us. It begins to show up in new ways. So you can kind of go through this world and kind of like Pleasantville, that movie with you know what I'm talking about? Pleasantville with who was in that movie? Was it Spider-Man? Was it? Yeah, it was that guy. It was Tobey Maguire, right? I think, give or take. Where it's like everything's like black and white, man. It's just like everything's the same. Nothing changes. It's just kind of like routine. Or do you want to kind of like be the person that kind of changes things? I'm also thinking of The Giver is what I'm also thinking of. The Giver is like kind of like Pleasantville. Go watch the movie The Giver if you guys haven't seen that, or go read the book. Where again, you know, you start to kind of like look for the magic, and as you look for the magic shows itself to you. So the magic zone is all around you. You don't even have to necessarily go somewhere to find it. You just have to go within and be able to reinterpret the lens through which you see the world. And if that means discombobulating a bit of yourself in the process, that's okay, because that creates the excitement of being able to build yourself as the new version that you are becoming, and allow yourself to fall into the excitement of knowing that new version of who you are becoming is a part of who you have always been. It's like a seed that's growing inside of you. So nurture your seed of your inner child, of your inner wizard, of your inner elf, with the magic of the zone around you, the magic of the world around you. Water it each day. So if that resonates with you guys, drop some 1111s in the chat, and feel free to drop a little affirmation based on how that message lands with you. So you can write out a little I am or a little we are affirmation. And I'll do that real quick, and then we'll get right into our next reading for Kamel. And thank you, Kamel, so much for your contribution on PayPal. So quick little opportunity here, just to be able to reflect. I am continuing to cultivate awareness of my relationship to the magic of the world around me. I see it through the lens of my heart as I nurture the spirit of my inner child and cultivate excitement for the times where, even if I don't have it figured out, I know that it's an opportunity to be able to open myself up to infinite possibility. So, something like that. So, beautiful card number 43, the magic zone, the exhilaration of discombobulation. So I feel like that's like a name for a band or a song or something, the exhilaration of discombobulation. So if that doesn't summarize what the world's going through right now, I don't know what does. So anyways, all right, team, we'll just take a quick intermission here. Chamuel, thank you so much for your contribution on PayPal. And with that said, we'll get right into the next reading. And as we're doing that, again, if you guys would like to be able to check out the Patreon, please go ahead and do that. The Patreon is where you can join with a monthly membership to be able to connect further with our community of conscious creators. We've got regular community events that you guys are welcome to be a part of, and it's $11 a month. Feel free to check it out. There's lots of other perks there to be able to help support you, share your content, connect and collaborate with other awesome creators. And if you sign up at the $33 level on the Patreon, that's the best value level, and that's where you can also get one of the beautiful Light Guardian crystals as well. And I'm also going to be sending out some shift buttons with anybody who orders those. So if you sign up at the $33 level, I'll give you one of the Light Guardian crystals, just ask that you pay shipping. Plus, you also get monthly one-on-one sessions with me. That can be one-on-one tarot or one-on-one coaching for media coaching, or even just to like hang out and shoot the shift, whatever you guys want. So if anybody is ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and start doing that now. It takes a few minutes to sign up. And let's work towards getting one new Patreon sign up while we're on this broadcast. And you guys can sign up at any point. So contributions only process on the first of each month. So even if you sign up today, it won't process till later. I'll just say this real quick, and then we'll get into Chamuel's reading. For those of you who do want to join in today, for our members today, we actually have a party tonight. So it's a Conscious Creator Soul Party tonight. So for those of you who are already Patreon members, let me know if you guys are going to join in for that. Drop a 777 in the chat if you guys think you might be around for that. And again, if you guys are interested in joining in for the party tonight, go ahead and join on the Patreon. Then that will give you access to the Zoom link. And it's a Conscious Creator Soul Tribe party. So it'll be like a cool way for you to be able to connect with the team. And it'll be pretty casual, and we'll be just vibing and having fun and lots of laughs. So, all right. So with that said, Chamuel, I'm not entirely sure if you've tuned in many times before, but I'll just give you a quick overview. When we do the readings here, every reading we do is for the collective as well as yourself. So what we do is we set the intention, show us what we need to see. We're going to guide you through a quick little meditation where we just tap into our heart space. And then from there, set the intention, show us what we need to see. And then I'll guide you through that with some gentle instructions where I'll invite you to just be able to listen to your intuition. And then when you're ready, type now into the chat. So I'll guide you through that. Before we do that, inviting you to be able to choose which deck you would like to be able to work with. So you can choose which deck you would like to be able to use as we pull a card from. So we have the Hero's Journey deck, the Lightworker Oracle deck, the Tarot deck, the Ananda Tarot deck, so that's kind of more traditional tarot, or the Sacred Spirit deck. So Chamuel, if you want to just let us know which one of those decks you would like to be able to work with, please go ahead and do that, and we'll get things set up. And yeah, thank you guys again so much for joining in. I'm pumped just to be able to hang out here with you guys. And again, I'm looking forward to the party tonight. And that's at 8 p.m. EDT tonight. So thank you again to those of you tuned in on Twitch as well. Shout out to, I guess I can see the users on Twitch. This is like a new thing I'm figuring out. So is this how many people are actually tuned in on Twitch right now? Because on my thing, it says 2 people, but then in the users, it says there's like multiple people. So shout out to Academy, shout out to Another, shout out to Blood, shout out to Erabs, shout out to Fast, and shout out to Jeanette. If you guys are tuned in right now, feel free to leave a comment in the chat. And yeah. All right, let's do the Ananda Tarot deck. Great choice. I love being able to do this one. So this was the one I started with. Like there was a time when I started these broadcasts where we literally only had the Ananda Tarot deck. All right. Okay, team. So we're going to get right into this next reading. And then from there, we'll see if we do have some more contributions on PayPal and Patreon. We'll go into some more readings. However, if we don't, which is totally fine, this may be the last reading for today. I'm not entirely sure. I just have, there's a lot of exciting things that I'm working on today. So we'll go by ear. We'll go with the flow. And yeah, I'd love to be able to see if we can get a new Patreon sign up today. So even if you guys are thinking of signing up for the Patreon later, just feel free to check it out, see which tier resonates with you. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Jeanette. Okay. Chamuel, let us know that you're ready, and I assume that you are. I can see your comment in the chat. So for everybody here, just inviting you to be able to join us into this meditation. And again, every time that we do this, it's exciting to be able to just see how much it resonates with people. So every reading that we do, it's not like a fortune telling. It's not like a premonition. it's a way for us to be able to see more of ourselves through the mirror and symbolism of the cards. And again, I help to serve as a conduit and a messenger for that. So Chamuel, assuming you're ready, let's allow everybody here to just be able to join us in this meditation. So inviting everyone to get nice and comfortable and just waiting for confirmation. There we go. Okay, Chamuel's ready. All right, here we go, everyone. So for those of you who are with us, when you're ready, go ahead and gently close your eyes. And as you close your eyes here, just allow yourself to connect with your breath. Soft, gentle inhales and soft, gentle exhales. And as you breathe here, just allow yourself to connect into this space of gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, for this space, for this team, for the messages we are here to receive. And with gratitude in our heart for Chamuel and for everybody here, focusing our attention on the intention, show us what we need to see. Show us what we need to see. And so Chamuel and for everyone, go ahead and speak that intention. Speak it with your heart. Speak it with your mind. Speak it with your words. Speak it with your soul. And just visualizing this beautiful beam of light just kind of rising up from where we are, shooting up into the heavens, bringing down the wisdom from the stars. And so Chamuel, continuing to listen to your intuition, take a few moments here as you gently breathe. When you are ready, gently open your eyes and type now into the chat. For everybody else, feel free to open your eyes when you're ready, and feel free to type your wizard noises into the chat. And once Chamuel types now into the chat and I see it, we will split the deck. So here we go. Charging it up. There is a door within inside each and every single one of us. A door that will continue to show us the truth that has always been above. For we are infinite souls here amongst this plane, here to be able to level up to our truth within this game. And so as Chamuel types now within the chat, we shall split the deck. See what message the universe has. Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you, Chamuel, so much. For everybody here, thank you again for being a part of this space. And excuse my weird noises. This is just like one of my favorite cards. So okay, that's cool. We don't always use this deck as frequently, so when we do, it's pretty exciting to get something like this. The card that we have pulled for Chamuel, for anybody who is tuned in right now, is the Fool. The Cosmic Fool, also labeled as card number 22, but that's actually a psych out. Like, it's actually like card number 0, but like the card itself is like a Fool card. It's kind of weird. Like, it says it's card number 22, but it's not card number 22. It's a card number 0. So let's set things up here and get ready to be able to read into this one. I know the definition on this one is a little bit longer, so but we'll read through it. You know, it's funny because I was talking about this the other day. A lot of you guys know I've got a baby that's on the way. Me and Lacey, we're having a child, and the expected due date is like on March 31st or April 1st. So I'm just like, come on, April 1st due date. Like, I'm like, come on, child that is born on like the date of like the Cosmic Fool, aka the Wizard. So all right, let's take a moment here to be able to dive a little bit deeper. Thank you, everyone, again. As we do this, we'll keep an eye open for any contributions on PayPal or Patreon. And yeah, if you're here, this message is for you. So let's dive a little bit deeper. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile, tune in on YouTube so you can see the primary camera now. So just visually explaining this card, we actually did an entire podcast about the Fool. You guys can go check it out. It was a while back. I'd have to find the link, but okay, so just visually explaining it here. A lot of symbolism in the card of the Fool to begin with, so I'll just kind of explain it based on what I can remember. So we have the Cosmic Fool dressed up like a jester, and a lot of symbolism in terms of just the subtle things going on here. So they're basically floating above the ground, suspended by like no gravity or anything like that, and they're literally playing with the earth like as a ball. And you can see they got an interesting outfit on. They have these like very like kind of like trippy dimensional leggings, and the shirt that also has like the cosmic landscape on it. You can see like the stars on it, and they're also wearing like a mask, like a face paint, and there's kind of like cosmic bubbles there. Again, I'm just explaining it literally. We'll go more into the detail of it, but man, the Fool is like one of the most powerful cards in the tarot deck. So we are the Cosmic Fool. So Kamel, thank you so much for helping us facilitate this card. I'm excited to be able to dive into this. And yeah, for those of you tuned in on all platforms, thank you so much. Click the link in my profile if you're on TikTok and Instagram. Join in on YouTube, and let's keep an eye open for any new contributions on PayPal or Patreon. And yeah, here we go. Let's dive a little bit deeper. If anything I say resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. Okay, here we go. Card number 0, the Fool. Without any ground beneath his feet, supported only by soap bubbles coming from his head, a jester dances and plays with the earth out in space. Meaning, the connections between Neptune, Uranus, and the sign of Pisces point to one of the most delicate of all forms of existence. Neptune, as ruler of Pisces, shows himself here in his purest form. Like Pisces, Uranus and Neptune symbolize immaterial aspects of being. In the astrological sense, Pisces closes the zodiac by stepping over the threshold from life to death, also from the unborn to new life, and symbolizes, like the Fool, the world of the soul. Like the child in the mother's womb, the soul rocks in its cosmic placenta, in the ultimate trust in God as a single recognizable form of existence. In a state between consciousness and unconsciousness, the planet Neptune carries, like the unborn being, the plan of life within itself, like the blueprint of a genetic pattern. Again, if some of this sounds like a little wordy, don't worry. We're going to kind of like go into just like deciphering it and talking about the simplicity of it as we go. Because sometimes like you read this description and you're just like, I don't know what Neptune and Uranus like signifying. Don't worry. We'll keep it simple for you. And again, the write-up on this one's a little bit longer, so we'll roll through it. While Neptune in its passive nature is unintentional, Uranus, with its active nature, carries the impulse of realization or fulfillment. If it were ever possible to sum up the aspects of such a constellation, the image would come to the mind of a carefree child. Isn't this interesting? Like literally the card before this was literally talking about that. Every time that we do these tarot broadcasts, if you guys are tuned in for multiple readings, you'll always find there's like a correlation from one reading to the next. It's very interesting. The image would come to mind of a carefree child who, in a playful manner, curiously makes his way discovering new things. This would come pretty close to describing that essence. In the handing down of the traditional tarot, the Fool is generally depicted wandering just at the edge of an abyss. In truth, though, he is already one step ahead. He is not worried at all by the law of gravity or any other boundaries or limitations. Whatever form it may take, for him they are simply powerless, at least in his fantasy, and with that he is richly blessed. So, he dances between heaven and earth, without really being at home in the world, learns through trial and error, and lives in the moment, carefree and with a lightness taken for granted. He plays the game. It should be noted that his ball is none other than the earth itself. Not that he has delusions of grandeur, or it is too enormed of himself. No, for him it is simply that nothing is impossible. As the naive nature of a child believes that every object has a soul, he also feels naturally connected to every living being. Again, if this resonates with you, if you're just like, oh, like, I see myself in this card. I see this the cosmic Fool within myself in this card. Again, feel free to drop an 1111 as we go here. The Fool is the Joker of the tarot. Through the strength of his imagination, along with the realistic self-assessment, he is truly able to realize his dreams. Special abilities and varied talent, which may be artistic or inventive, find their natural expression here. Often he jumps far ahead in his thoughts, through which the translation of his ideas always has an individual stamp. Every one of us carries the Fool within. Indeed, this childish, naive nature is usually buried in the deepest layers of our being, covered over with the worries and necessities of everyday life. In the major arcana, the Fool has an important key function. He moves between the end, the universe, and the beginning, the magician. In that way, he is a link and closes the circle between the original action and the resulting effect. In the greater definition, we find here the soul in its pure, formless form. That substance, which is untouched by the birth and death of the body, holds a chain of reincarnations together like a thread. This essence of our being is the silent witness in us that makes us capable of unconditionally watching and evaluating our experiences. As the young soul learns from trial and error, the ripe soul carries within the sum of all experiences from previous lives. Both have the freedom of choice to choose the direction in which they go. Also, they recognize that they bear the consequences of the choices they make. Here the fool is standing at the threshold between the worlds where the boundaries are fluid. One of the main characteristics of the fool is unintentionality. To make a conscious decision, he needs the ability of the magician, the first card of the tarot. At this point, the subtle world of the fool becomes a little more transparent. In the abstract sense, it is a casual tangle of thoughts and possibilities that can be summed up as an idea or vision only in its wholeness, and like an unborn child dreams a dream of its own existence. In order to finally make it real, the fool symbolizes the unrealized divine essence in us all. The fool accompanies us through the entire world of the tarot, similar to the way the plan of our soul weaves like an invisible thread through our life. The quiet voice of our soul often signals us to realize an ideal in spite of our rational senses. However high these ideals may be, we are challenged to realize them at least in ourselves, in view of the many obstacles that can stand in our way on this material plane until the realization of these goals occur. We do have the possibility of drawing from the depths of our soul. At any time in the consequences of immortality of our soul, the fool leads us to the center of actual being, in which we find the necessary optimism as well as a certain distance to the world of illusion. He indicates to us to take advantage of our personal freedom in order to develop our original being. All possibilities are open to this. For this, the Fool's card can often point out that certain abilities could be awakened or even more potent. When the Fool's card is drawn, it opens a variety of possibilities. Astrological significance: Uranus, Neptune, Pisces. Keywords: intuition, carefree, playful, curious, childlike, openness, uninhibitedness, geniality, optimism, connection to the divine, immortality of the soul, rich in ideas. Traditional meaning: originality, carelessness, innocence, one with nature, rash, positive life views, individuality, naivete. All right, give me a moment here as we get ready to be able to dive in deeper. Who here resonates with the cosmic soulful? What am I saying here? The cosmic fool, who's quite soulful. So beautiful. All right, Kamel, thank you again for helping us facilitate this reading. For those of you just joining in, we're diving deep. The card that we just pulled, for anybody who's tuned in right now, is the card of the Fool, the Cosmic Fool. So let's dive a little bit deeper into the significance of this card, and again, inviting it to be able to serve as a mirror for us to be able to see the Cosmic Fool within ourselves. So such a powerful card, and again, with this card, I think this card is like often sort of like underrated, but in natural characteristics of the Fool itself is often the one that people will look at and think is like, oh, like that person's crazy, like that person is not important, that person isn't worth my attention. And so within traditional stories, the archetype of the Fool is a common aspect of the hero's journey. Oftentimes, as we, the hero, are moving about on our quest, we may come across someone else who actually embodies the physical representation of the Fool. For example, this could be like a beggar on the side of the street that's talking nonsense, and there's like kind of like a crazy homeless man by the looks of it. And then later on in the story, it turns out that a homeless man was actually Merlin. And so in the process of being able to begin to understand that perception isn't always what it appears itself to be, it gives us the opportunity to really begin to question, why is the Fool important? And so the significance of the Fool is really being able to invite us to understand that, like the Fool, we have a choice as to how we play this game. And a big part of that is by being able to shift and raise our consciousness to the point of understanding that this is a game to begin with. A lot of people will oftentimes they resist that. They have this struggle that they think, things always have to be kind of like serious and rigid, and they always want to be told what to do. The Fool is a part of us that really invites in that cosmic sovereignty, that celebrates that cosmic sovereignty, that celebrates that uninhibitedness, that creativity, that infinite play. So with this card for Chamuel and for everybody here, what can you do to connect more with your cosmic Fool? How can that enrich your life? And so in the process of being able to connect with the cosmic Fool, again, that can invite more of this play style of energy into you, but also more of this awe and more of this wonder and more of this deep understanding within your heart of really being able to begin to understand that the world is much more malleable than we have been led to believe. And so the Fool is the one who has the perspective of like being outside of the game. The Fool, oftentimes, again, appearing as a jester, is the one who understands that even right now on this earth plane, we are wearing masks, we are wearing suits, we are wearing costumes, and yet who we are the actors, are the ones who will step on and off the stage in order to be able to perform. A lot of people, they've gone to the point where, hey, Samira, thanks for joining in. We're on the Fool card. It's a good one. So again, a lot of people have actually stepped on stage to be able to play this play, and yet they have kind of like fallen into an amnesia where they, as far as they know, like they are the character on the stage. The Fool is the one that holds the degree of consciousness that is both the character and the actor. They can understand that this game is something that is to be played with. Alan Watts is a person who speaks very fondly of the Fool and really invites in a lot of that energy. And so in the process of being able to understand what it means to cultivate a deeper relationship with the Fool, it really gives us an opportunity to begin to start to see things through that lens of optimism, start to see things through that lens of awe and wonder and curiosity, and really begin to find play in the process of waking up, play in the process of being able to help activate and inspire the Fool inside of others as well. And so even with the cosmic Fool, again, we have this archetype that we often refer to as the inner child. However, I think the inner child, we call it the inner child, but really what it is, it's like more so kind of like the primordial cosmic Fool. It's like the part of us that in our nature is creative, is spontaneous, is playful. It's the part of us that sees the world through the lens of magic. And again, like the previous card that we had before this, which is so interesting how we had the previous card before this, where it invites us to be able to understand that, the zone of magic is all around us. It's just a matter of whether or not you are tuned in with it, whether or not you understand it. So the Fool is one of the most powerful cards in the deck because, again, it understands that we are playing this game. And when you can understand that we are playing this game, how will you start to play it differently? How will you start to be able to look at things within your life that maybe you are attaching so much energy to, and begin to start to get a little bit curious and begin to just kind of say, like, you know what, like is me holding on to this actually causing more suffering? Like, what am I holding on to for? What am I afraid of? Am I afraid of the lack of control? And so with the Fool card, it's actually being able to like find control in being okay with not always having control. And yet within that space where we don't always have control, we also get the opportunity to be able to meet more of ourselves in the ways that we show up through spontaneity and through intuition. So again, with this card is really inviting in that energy of being carefree without being careless. Something you've probably heard me say before. You can embody the archetype of the Fool, but you can do it in a way where you're still responsible. It doesn't mean that it's like, hey, I'm a fool, I'm gonna just kind of like go around and like knock over some garbage cans and cause a ruckus. Like, no, like be a decent person, have compassion, be a genuine soul that you are, and yet at the same time, begin to kind of like put out that intention to the universe where it's just like, I know there is magic all around me, and I am open to being able to receive more of it. I am here to deepen my connection to it. I am open to the optimism that is within every single breath, and I am open to being able to deepen my connection with the divine. So the soul card, the Fool card, is a card that really invites us to be able to celebrate and reflect on what is our relationship like with the divine. And is it something that, you know, for some of us, we have in some cases almost taken that relationship and like put it in the closet. We're just like, yeah, whatever, you know, I'm just going to be my profession. I'm just going to wear this hat. I'm just going to do X, Y, Z. And that's okay. Like, that's okay. It comes and goes at different times. But there is this infinite archetype of the soul that will continue to always be a part of our life. It just depends on whether or not we are in coherence with it, whether or not we are consciously embodying it. So, you know, for me, being the Fool is a lot of the energy that I personally intentionally bring into my creation. It allows me to get silly. It allows me to get playful. It allows me to bring in humor. It allows me to do things like back in the day, I don't do it so much anymore, where I would go downtown and do free hugs. And I would encourage people to go downtown and do free hugs. In the process of doing that, and again, this is kind of like before COVID and stuff, you know, in the process of doing that, that's inviting you to kind of be the archetype of the Fool, because when you are the archetype of the Fool, oftentimes you will get people's attention. You will stand out. It will be likely that people will notice you because you will be a glitch in the matrix. You will be something different. And so when I was doing free hugs, you know, like I'm standing there just vibing, holding my signs. And if you guys, like, it's funny because so many of you follow me, but you guys totally like have not seen that part of me. I'll have to repost some videos where you can see, like, I was doing it for years and years and years, but obviously with COVID things have just kind of adjusted and stuff like that. But I'm totally open to, like, there's other creative ways. It doesn't always have to be free hugs, you know. It can be literally just like sign holding, where you hold a sign that says like you are love and stuff like that. Any of these creative outlets where you're going out there and you are being this kind of like pattern interrupt, this glitch in the matrix, and people will look at me like, that person's a fool. That person's crazy. That person's ridiculous. What are they doing? Why are they doing free hugs? And even though in that moment they question it, it also plants a seed. And so the Fool is the seed planter. The Fool is the one that will not take another's opinion of them so personally, because they are in alignment with why they do what they do. So if they create something really meaningful from their heart, or if they go out there and do free hugs or do shiftivism, as I refer to it, and maybe it's a little bit embarrassing, but it's also incredibly liberating, and maybe a few people have an opinion of you, that's okay, because I guarantee you that even though those people may have some sort of opinion of you, they'll probably take it with them and they'll go home and be like, man, like, who was that person? Why were they doing that? And why was I so resistant to it? And maybe next time, maybe I'll go up and talk to them. I'm curious. Maybe I'm going to go say hello. So, you know, again, within the community, another big thing is, you know, I help give you guys tools to be the cosmic Fool. A lot of you, and again, not a lot of you know this, like the shift button. So like the shift button that I have here, and I'm not just plugging this as like, you know, hey, go buy them from the shop. Like, please go buy them from the shop if you guys want. I just ordered some more parts. But these are tools to use as a cosmic Fool. These have websites on it for the project, for our community. So when I would do free hugs, people would come up to me and we would talk, and then I would be like, here, like, have a button, have a gift, and they would choose from one of the buttons. There's like a bunch of different designs, and they're all conscious buttons, conscious symbols. And they would be like, whoa, like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. Thank you so very, very much. And then they take the button with them, go on the website, connect with the community. And so it's using this ingenuity and this crazy ability to be able to kind of like trust synchronicity, where you're kind of like acting from a higher perspective, where you're fulfilling a role and you're working with this flow of the universe, where the universe allows itself to kind of enact through you to be able to plant seeds, to be able to awaken others, to be able to be a pattern that interrupts people's waking dream and allows them to be able to think like, oh, you know, like, is there something more to this reality? So again, you know, the Fool is an archetype that shows up in so many different ways, and I'll just talk on this for a little bit longer. Again, I just want to rest my throat. But if this resonates with you guys, drop an 1111 in the chat, because if you are a shifter, if you are a light worker, if you are a light guardian, if you are a conscious creator, the conscious Fool archetype is a very important part of your story. And if it's not something that you fully begin to kind of consciously bring awareness to, this is a very powerful card that invites us to be able to do so, and really invites us to be able to honor it. Even for tonight's party, we'll be playing with that energy for tonight's party. Samira, if you're joining in for tonight's party, you'll be able to join in, and we'll all just be hanging out and kind of like embodying some of that Fool energy, you know? So look at the way how society has literally demonized the concept of foolishness. I think there's still like foolishness can still be like, it's like, oh, you're doing something, reckless. Like that's a little bit different. But what if we bring power back to the idea of doing something foolish? And if you think in your mind, it's like, I'm going to do something foolish, to you, that can actually mean I'm going to do something from a higher perspective to be able to help shift consciousness for the collective, even if it means slightly embarrassing myself a little bit. I'm actually I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna post a video today. It's like a stand-up comedy skit that I did a while ago. I'm gonna post it on TikTok. I didn't post it on TikTok for so long because like it was like a 1 minute limit, but that video was like 90 seconds. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go back and upload that. It's funny. It's like me doing stand-up comedy, but again, in that, it's using the energy of the fool. And the concept of the fool also is the concept of observation. The concept of the fool is the paradigm shift. It's being able to kind of step outside things, see things from a higher perspective, see things with a much broader understanding of what's actually going on, and then orchestrating our actions accordingly. And if that means bringing a little bit of silliness and cleverness and humor and joy and playfulness, the world needs that. The world needs more of that playful energy. That is what's going to ignite the heart. That is what's going to give us permission. That's what's going to help kind of like clear away the dirt that's covering the lens of our light, so to speak. So, very powerful card. Honoring the fool inside each and every single one of you. The fool within me sees and honors the fool within you. So if you guys resonate with this, if you guys are like, fuck yeah, I'm a cosmic fool and I embrace it, then drop those 1111s in the chat. Write it out in any way. You can write it out. Like, do more than just an 1111. And yeah, super, super powerful card. So Kamel, thank you so much for helping us facilitate that card. I know this one will pop up again here and there in the future. The Cosmic Fool card. We are the fool. It's time for us to be able to awaken. Yes, more of that cosmic mischief, please. So yeah, let's get silly. Let's get creative. Let's get let's connect with our intuition to be able to listen to where the intuition is guiding us. And honestly, if you guys like call to action, and I do want to be able to start moving more towards this. It's just I'm balancing a lot of things right now, but I put in an order for some shift buttons. If anybody here, if you guys want, let me know your budget, send me stuff on PayPal, and I will send you as many shift buttons basically as you want. So if you're just like, here's $30, I'll send you a bunch of shift buttons. I sell them like super, super cheap. And use those as tools. Use those as like game tokens, game items, quest items, to go out there and to start giving them to people. Because if you hold shift buttons on you, 100%, you will find people to give them to and use them to spark conversation, use them to plant seeds, use them to invite people back to the community, and use them to literally be able to change people's life. Like, I have given out thousands of shift buttons over the years. That's again, right? Like, a lot of you guys are connecting with me. You guys haven't even seen this part. The stuff I've been doing like way before like COVID and stuff like that. Like, man, it's so important. And I want to be able to bring more of it back. And it's always been here. And another thing, and I'm not just saying use shift buttons, like get inspired. If you guys are like seriously, make signs. Make a sign that says like, like you are loved, or remember you are dreaming, or open your heart, or free smiles, or something like that. Something that you can use in a way that feels comfortable for you, comfortable enough. It's probably going to feel a little uncomfortable because you're doing something a little bit unusual, but have that bravery to be able to go out there, to be that glitch in the matrix. And again, if you're doing sign holding and you got buttons with you, like, dude, like next level unlocks. I'm not just trying to sell you something here. I'm inviting you to know that the tools are available. So I just put in an order today. Like literally today, I'm like, oh man, like I'm like being mindful with my budget and stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm going to order those because I want to be able to get you guys those shift buttons. And I'm going to be doing some giveaways for the shift buttons. So again, quick plug, if anybody does want to be able to order some shift buttons, let me know. Like, just let me know either here in the chat, send me a DM, just send me a PayPal contribution, and I'll ship those out to you. Especially if you guys are like signing up for the Patreon, you'll get extra bonuses. And if you want to order anything else while you're at it, that's totally fine as well. Who here wants shift buttons? Drop a 777 in the chat. Kristen knows. Kristen has shift buttons at the event, and yeah, she was using those as well. A lot of people, like, I've given shift buttons to, they'll use them and they'll be like a few weeks later, they'll be like, Brendan, I need more shift buttons. They worked, Brendan. I gave them out, and again, that's the thing. Like, when I use them back in the day, I would use them to literally build physical community. So I would do free hugs downtown. This is me telling you about my stories as a cosmic fool, and I still want to do this, man. I just have to. Things are busy right now, so it's up to all of us to do it. It's not just on my shoulders. All of us can do this. where I would go downtown, I would do free hugs, people would come up to me, they would give me a hug, and then I would initiate conversation, give them a shift button, and then I would invite them to our local paradigm shift meetup, which would be like an open discussion meditation circle. So a big part within the community project was encouraging people to create physical paradigm shift communities where they would have open-minded conversation and discussions. And so literally in that moment, I would be using synchronicity to bring people into that coherence, into that experience, give them a shift button, give them an invitation for the meetup, and then they would literally come up to the meetup. It might have been like the next day or a week later, meet other people in a discussion talking about spirituality, and then it would literally change their life. You know, it would connect them into the community. Like I built a community from the ground up physically in my city. Like I did this for like many years with the intention to be able to know that it's something that you can do too. So you can still literally build physical community where you are. So now that things are kind of like moving around with the world and stuff, if you guys feel called, and again, this is something I help you with, to create physical meetups in your locations, like open-minded discussion, meditation circles, keep it simple. Do it. And then if you got shift buttons, it's going to make it way easier for you because those will help like evoke synchronicity and stuff. Samira, seeing the 777 in the chat, and Kristen looking to be able to get some more shift buttons. Yeah, like the shift buttons are an investment, man. And you can the shift buttons are like cryptocurrency. I swear. You can use the buttons in exchange for goods and services. Like people have done this. I know people have done this. Like I know a few people, they're like, I took shift buttons with me when I was traveling, and on multiple times they would exchange it for food. They would exchange it for like a sandwich, or they would exchange it for like to like stay at someone's house. You know, it's a gift though. Like, you know, someone would like help them out and be like, here, have a button. And the person would be like, oh my God, this is so meaningful. There's literally people that have received shift buttons from like 2012 and they still carry them. Like they're like on their backpacks and stuff. And again, like the designs, like I'm kind of down to just like my leftover designs, but I got my the parts. I just ordered it today, so it's funny that I'm talking about this. And there's lots of different designs. They're all like sacred geometry, like ancient symbols, conversation starters. So someone would come up to you, say for example, if they saw this one, you know, if you saw me wearing this on the bus, would you come up to me and comment and be like, hey, I like your button? You might. And so with that, I would be like, oh, awesome, thanks. Like, here, you can have it. And then you would give it to them. Like, I've done this like a million times throughout my reality. Done it on campus. I've done it downtown. I've done it on the bus. I've done it at festivals. It's fun, man. Like, it is fun. Like, shift buttons are freaking fun, man. I got my buddy, he was like asking me for more today. Anyways, I'm talking about shift buttons like crazy here, but if you guys want to order shift buttons, let me know. I did just put in an order for the parts, so any orders that you guys want to put in, super appreciated, and especially if you sign up for the Patreon and are also getting a Light Guardian crystal, then I can send that out like with your package at the same time. So Samira, Kristen, anything that you guys want to be able to order, let me know. Kristen, you're such a huge supporter. You just let me know what your budget is and I'll just freaking put in a bunch. Like I'm getting 1,000 parts. So there's enough to go around, and I'll be making them either this weekend or whatever. So Allison has some shift buttons from 2017. Dude, that's awesome. Allison, where did you get the shift buttons from? Like, I'm just trying to put two and two together because and I apologize if the names aren't always like I'm not always remembering everyone's name. Like, did I give them to you, Allison? Did someone else give them to you? Did you order them online? I assume you ordered them online. So, but anyways, yeah, no, it's cool, man. Shift buttons are awesome. And with the upgrades that we're doing to the community and the website, the buttons become more powerful as the community evolves. So it's pretty cool. All right. Hey, let's finish up this card reading. The Cosmic Fool. What's an affirmation that you guys have related to this message? Did I already do that already? I am honoring the Cosmic Fool within my heart as I continue to go out and change the world through creative and playful ways. Woo, 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 woo. So that's my basic affirmation. Feel free to leave an affirmation in the chat. Kamel, if you're still here, thank you so much again for contributing and for adding your energy to the reading for today. I'm going to take a break here. So it is. Exactly. Woo. Awesome. Yeah, Allison, you got them from a while back. That's awesome. Super cool. So cool. All right, team. I'm going to take a break here. I need to I got pretty excited there. Shawnias, thank you for joining in. Absolutely want to raise the vibration and raise the combos. Totally. So again, at this point, we'll just take a moment here. Samira, thank you again. Samira, hopefully if you're able to join in for the party tonight, we'll see you around, but feel free to send me a direct message anytime. And much love. Have a magical day as well. That's the keyword, magic. So cool. A magi day, a wizard day. So, all right. Again, team, what we're going to do, we're just going to hang out here at this. So that was either going to be the last reading for today, or if someone wants to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, go ahead and do that now, and then we will initiate another reading. I'd love to be able to get a new sign up on Patreon, just to be able to keep building the momentum there. Thank you to our Patreon supporters as well. And oh, Shawness, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. That's awesome, dude. We have the same birthday. Yeah, that's awesome. It's a great birthday, man. It's the same birthday as Nelson Mandela and Vin Diesel, as if that counts for extra or something like that. Totally. Yes, the definitely feeling the vibes on the birthday. I know another guy who has the same birthday as me too. Anyways, team, thank you again to our recent Patreon supporters. Thank you to Cassius. Thank you to Eloise. Thank you to Lauren. Thank you to Jason. Thank you to Kelly. And for those of you who are tuned in right now, if you guys are feeling the call to be able to connect further with this community, it's a pretty awesome community of conscious creators. We got a lot of awesome events on the regular coming up, and it's a place for you to be able to connect with other conscious creators and to connect with that soul tribe. And the way that you do that is by joining on the Patreon. It's an $11 monthly contribution. It's like a membership. And yeah, contributions processed on the 1st of each month. So even if you sign up today, nothing gets processed until October 1st. And we do have an event tonight. We have a conscious creator soul tribe party vibe thingamajig tonight. So if you guys are Patreon members, I sent the link out through Patreon for the Zoom, and hopefully you guys will be able to join in tonight. We'll record it anyways. And again, for those of you tuned in right now, feel free to check out the Patreon. And if you want to sign up for that, let me know in the chat so we can just wait around a bit. And if you sign up at the $11, you get access to the events, access to our Discord, access to being able to have additional conscious creation coaching, our circles for conscious creator collaboration circles. And if you sign up at the $33 level on the Patreon, that's again, the best value is the $33 level. That's where you can get a Light Guardian crystal with your sign up, just to ask you to pay extra shipping on that. It's like $10, not much. And you also get additional one-on-one monthly sessions with me, which can be for one-on-one tarot or one-on-one conscious media coaching. So yeah, thank you guys again. We're currently at 111 on Patreon. And again, the support there, like I'm hustling on it pretty hard these days. And a big part of that is, again, to be able to reach those goals, not just for myself. Like I said, Lacey and I, we got a baby on the way. So me building support on the Patreon, it supports me. It supports Lacey, and it supports the family that we're growing. And yeah, I'm so appreciative of all the support that you guys contribute in all forms. So whether you're signed up for the Patreon, again, just thank you for your support in all forms. And yeah, got a lot of awesome people here in the community. Soul Tribe Party vibes. Cool. All right, team, I'm just going to take a moment here to just kind of like catch my breath. And again, if anybody would like to be able to contribute on the PayPal or Patreon, go ahead and do that now. And I'll just kind of like wave around the Light Guardian crystal for a bit. I won't be too annoying. Anyways, Shanice, thank you so much. I appreciate you and the world so much. Happy to share the inspiration. Happy to help spark the shifter and the conscious creator inside all of us. So yes, yeah, I know. I'm excited about the baby, man. I bought Lacey a snoogle yesterday. I think I mentioned it on the broadcast yesterday. Does anybody here know what a snoogle is? So, anyways, a reminder for the Light Guardian crystals, if anybody wants to order those individually, go ahead and do that now or at any point. And Patreon supporters also get discount on that, and you can find those through my Quest item shop as well. So post a link for the Quest item shop there into the chat. Cool, team. So like I said, that was either the last reading for today, but if we do have some additional contributions on PayPal or Patreon, then we'll do some more readings. I'm totally fine with whatever. There's a lot of other stuff that I'm working on today. And again, if you guys are thinking of signing up for the Patreon and you guys got some questions, then I've got some Lemurian the other week and a laser pen set. There you go. Make your own Light Guardian crystal. Go for it. If you guys are interested in joining up for the Patreon, feel free to reach out to me if you even just want to set up like a one-on-one call to just like help you get connected and answer any questions. I'm more than happy to be able to do that as well. So yes. So like I said, we'll just hang out here for a bit. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you so much. And if anybody did want to be able to order any shift buttons from the website, you can also do that as well. And otherwise, you're also just welcome to just like DM me, and PayPal's fine as well too. So cool. All right. Well, this has been an awesome reading for today. Again, both readings were very, again, kind of like tapped into a very similar message and frequency. So really emphasizing this like activation of the inner child energy. So very cool there. So man, I want to print off some more signs. That's something I want to do. I want to practice going downtown and doing sign holding at a safe distance. Freaking college students, man, they're freaking crazy. I have to be extra mindful again these days, coming home to Lacey and everything like that. So yes, cool. Oh, new contribution coming in from Kristen. Kristen, thank you so much for the contribution on PayPal. And Kristen, if you're ordering more buttons, we can just kind of like slide that towards your button order as well. That's totally fine. So let's do one more reading then, and I'll do one more reading, and then at that point I'll probably have to get close to wrapping it up again. I just gotta be mindful of the time, because there is I'm doing some upgrades on the Discord, and I got some other stuff that I'm working on today as well. So cool. All right, Kristen, do you want to help facilitate this reading? And if so, let's just kind of do like a kind of a swift one as well. But again, we'll keep things open. If there are some more contributions on the PayPal or Patreon, then we'll keep rolling here. So let's see if we can get one new sign up onto the Patreon. If you guys are interested in signing up for the Patreon, but like you're not sure when you're gonna sign up, but you're interested, do me a favor, put a 555 in the chat. So cool. Jessica says she loves her Alice button. Yay! Yeah, I'm happy you guys have your shift buttons. A lot of you have received shift buttons over the years. Kristen, what deck do you want to use? Let's get right into this reading. I just gotta be mindful of my voice. So, Hero's Journey deck, Lightworker Oracle deck, Sacred Spirit deck, or Ananda Tarot deck. So, thank you again for those of you tuned in. Yeah, Jessica, whenever I think of your name, I always think of like Alice as well. So, the wolf is my favorite. Yeah. Cool. Do people ask you guys about your buttons? Has that been happening? So, okay. All right, let's get right into this next reading. Lightworker Oracle deck, please. Oh, you asked so politely. You're welcome. Let's get right into it. All right. And again, I'm planning on buying a new deck once I get up to 150 on Patreon. At that point, I'm going to buy another deck. And I haven't fully decided what that deck is yet. I'll have to see. So, pretty exciting. Cool. All right, let's get ready to move into this next reading. Again, we'll move kind of swiftly here, but we'll still keep the intention. So, Kristen, if you're ready, I always give the one I'm wearing to anyone who asks about it. Yeah, that's the way it works, man. If anybody asks about it, you just give them away. So, cool. Okay, all right, let's get into this next reading. Kristen, you know how this works. So for everybody here, thank you so much for joining in. Feel free to join in for this little meditation. And guys, if you aren't already yet, be sure to follow Kristen, aka Pin Oak Rising, on or Pin Oak Cove on YouTube, Pin Oak Rising on Instagram. And Kristen also has a lot of awesome stuff to offer in the community and does tarot as well. And Kristen, again, I think you guys have probably seen I'm doing some upgrades in the Discord. So if you guys are creating like a tarot schedule for yourself, let us know, and we'll really start to kind of like plug that in and help direct more people to you guys. So cool. Okay. Quick meditation for everybody here. For all of those tuned in right now, just join us and just being able to do a quick meditation and set the intention, show us what we need to see. So, okay, here we go. When you're ready, go ahead and gently close your eyes. And just breathe here. Allowing ourselves to just arrive into the space of gratitude for ourselves, for our family, our friends, our loved ones, this space, this community, and the messages we are here to receive. With gratitude in our hearts, focusing on the intention, show us what we need to see. Speak with our heart, speak with our mind, speak with our words, speak with our soul. Continue to focus on this intention, For ourselves and the collective and the individual, imagining this like beautiful beam of light up into the heavens, anchoring in the significance of this message we are here to receive. Wisdom of the stars. Kristen, take a few more moments here. Listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. When you're ready, gently open your eyes and type now into the chat. For everybody else tuned in right now, feel free to open your eyes and type your wizard noises into the chat. Here we go. Silence is often the loudest sound, for within it there are so many things that can be found. For you are a vast well of infinite knowledge, and it's true that within you there is an abundance to frolic through. Frolic. So kick around those leaves as the autumn time comes, or it's time for us to get some cozy chocolate, hot chocolate, and enjoy some nom noms. I'm just making stuff up. And so as we open our heart to the playful ways, let us continue to find the magic of every day. As Kristen types now into the chat. Whoop. That card jumped. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Sure, we'll do this one. Alright. That card just like, I don't know, it just like jumped off the table, I guess, so. Huh. I was gonna choose that one or this one. Maybe I'll do both. Maybe I'll do both. I don't normally do this, but I'm like, what was the other card that I was gonna pull? Which one jumped off the table? So maybe we'll just kind of do a double read here. We don't normally do this, so let's just hang out and go with the flow. But the first card that we have pulled, again, for Kristen and for everybody tuned in right now, is card number 30, Dark Angel. Card number 30, Dark Angel. And the other card that we pulled, I'll just show it to you now, just you can see why I was like interested in it, is the third ray of creative intelligence, which I feel like definitely like kind of like resonates with what we were talking about with the other themes, but I'm sure the Dark Angel one probably has its own significance to it as well. So yeah, let's just do these readings, and then like I said, if we have any contributions on PayPal or Patreon, we'll keep things going. However, this may be the last reading for today, and thank you guys again so much. So let's just dive into this. I'm just curious to kind of learn more about these cards. So all right, okay, here we go. So Dark Angel, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, join in on YouTube, links in my profile. Beautiful image here of this very masculine yet soft masculine figure, very much like a depiction of an angel, and some very like just like this gentle softness to them as they again just kind of like hold their arm in front of their chest. You can see their angel wings there. When you guys see this card, what do you think? And did anybody else watch the Buffy spin-off show, Angel, with Angel in it? Am I the only one who thinks Buffy was like one of the best shows ever? I swear to God, man. That show was like next level, man. All right, let's dive a little bit deeper. For those of you tuned in, this message is for you. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And again, let's keep an eye open for any contributions on PayPal or Patreon. And again, even if for those of you on Patreon, if you guys want to upgrade your Patreon, that's totally cool too. And that can initiate the next reading as well. So, okay. Here we go. Dark Angel. The Dark Angel comes to you with radical truth. Divine love is always there for you, without exception. Love will never forget you. It will never stop caring for you, even when it seems unlikely. In fact, especially then. The divine is reaching for you and nurturing you. Even our wounds are ways that we can discover love and divine grace through the healing process. The divine is always helping you remember who you are and find your true story. When the Dark Angel appears, you are being given a gift of light, even if it may seem to be a hidden blessing. A dark mystery is one that helps us learn that even if things don't seem to be working out according to the timing or the methods that we believe necessary, the light and love of spirit are unfailing. If a door is closed in your face, it is the wrong door for you. Divine love will ensure that the right door opens at the right time. When you encounter darkness, how you respond can make either the dark or the light victorious. You can choose doubt and fear, or you can force the darkness to serve the light. By choosing trust and faith, you are spiritually advanced enough to trust unconditionally. That is the truth. That is the trust that burns bright, not only when things appear good, but even when your mind thinks things seem to be heading in the wrong direction. Again, if anything we say resonates with you, drop those 11 in the chat. This one's very, very, very deep. Does unconditional trust mean you give up the things you give up if things get tough? Assuming it is not meant to be? Of course not. Relying on unconditional trust and understanding the dark mystery. You are willing to go through the periods of not knowing. You are willing to continue on your path even when you are not seeing immediate results. So this kind of relates to the first card that we got, actually. Because in your heart, you know it's right, which was the exhilaration of discombobulation. You guys remember that song? This type of trust is powerful enough to release any separation between you and the universe. You know that even when the universe guides you into challenging territory, you shall benefit. Grow in divine power and become the amazing being you are destined to be. Praying to the beautiful dark angel, writing, drawing, dancing your feelings, or dialoguing with your dream images, you can work through the pain of a challenging time and grow in wisdom. What matters is that you honestly express the depths of your suffering. Then, when you are ready, acknowledge that the experience has helped you grow. As we realize how we have grown through the experience, turning what was once a source of pain into spiritual light, we masterfully transform our deepest pain into our greatest growth and spiritual accomplishment. We become true spiritual alchemists, releasing light from darkness. As you learn to put more faith in love than in fear, your trust becomes increasingly unconditional, and you find the light even through the dark. In this way, you become initiated in the mystery of the dark angel. Then, you can show others that this is possible. You can help heal others from victim consciousness and show them that inner peace is possible, even when they are facing the unpredictable twists and turns of life. If you have been going through a difficult time or struggling to heal an issue, Dark Angel promises that even through the depths of despair, you shall find the light. In your own time, you will rise again into trust, restored faith, and hope. All will be well. Wow, beautiful card. I'm just going to talk on this a little bit. I think the description in that explains it quite well. And like I said, we're doing something a bit different where we pulled an extra card. So we'll get into the extra card in a second. But yeah, with this card, very, very beautiful card. And again, you know, this card really invites us to be able to carry with us that deep knowing that not only is this universe giving us opportunities that will help us grow, but it's also entrusting us with the freedom to be able to choose how we see those opportunities, how in those moments, you know, the resolution of the darkness can happen gradually on its own, but it's actually something that can be accelerated, that can consciously be something that we work through with intention when we begin to carry with us this understanding of where things are going. So if you're in a dark time and all you see is darkness ahead of you, and you've created this story that it's just going to be surrounded with more darkness and more darkness and more darkness, it becomes very challenging. It's important. One of the most important things that we can carry with us in any single moment, both individually and collectively, is hope. Hope, optimism. Hold something. Hold on to the possibility that even in the darkest of nights, we learn to shine a brightest light. Something you guys hear me say. But within the dark is, again, the opportunity where we go through the transformation. Within despair is, again, it's kind of this process where we get to be able to rebuild ourselves into something new. And again, the despair, even though we may not realize that at the time, it is also releasing us from not necessarily energies that no longer serve us, but perhaps energies that are even whose time has come. You know, it's kind of like one of those things where, you know, you'll go through experiences and it's just like, oh man, this feels like it was like really awesome and it was providing me comfort. And sometimes things end, not necessarily on like a super negative note, but they just end. They literally just end. And then in the process of ending, you know, it's also the despair isn't in the end, it's in like the kind of like the what comes after the end, the fact that now there is suddenly something that was once there that is not, and yet in the place of something that was not there, again, there's also the opportunity for us to be able to send more love to that space. There's a space for new opportunity to be able to arrive. And so there are going to be many moments within our life where we won't really be able to fully anticipate the twists and turns of life. But what we can continue to hold and to hold within our heart is the trust in knowing that, again, within those difficult times, that's how we find more of our light. And that's easier said than done at times, but with this knowing, again, that in itself can be something that can really guide us through those circumstances where things just do not feel certain at all. Because when we do not have that ounce of hope, we're likely to be able to repeat patterns and likely to think that we are, that we're deserving of darkness, that we're deserving of despair, that we can't be forgiven. And then we actually create excuses for ourselves to repeat self-damaging patterns. And again, relatively speaking, it can happen to all of us. However, in those moments, again, you think of someone who may be going through a despair. One of the most powerful things for them would be able to find someone else who perhaps has gone through their own despair and to be able to see the hope within them. So again, with this card, you can be an angel for somebody else who is going through their own darkness. And your journey of having gone through your own transformation of despair, even if it's still one you're going through, can be something where when you have a conversation with somebody else, it can literally transform their reality by just knowing that there is one person that believes in them, one person that sees the optimism, not just in them, but also in the circumstances, without invalidating their experience. It was interesting. How many people here have seen the show Euphoria? Me and Lacey are actually watching this, and that's actually like I'm speaking on this in reference to a lot of what I was observing within the show. And there's this episode near the end of the season, and I'm not going to spoil it here, but the main character, who's constantly going through this challenge of addiction, kind of reaches a point where they're not sure, like, they've lost hope, and then they find hope in their sponsor and somebody else who has gone through their own despair. And just having that one extra person who can see the hope within them, who can hold the optimism with them, that in itself becomes incredibly transformational. So even though there will be times where, it may feel like you are alone, know that you are never truly alone. And there is this knowing that you can hold on to within your heart. And again, within that, whether or not you have someone immediately available, it will challenge you, but you are strong enough. And just know that within your heart, that again, these difficult times are giving you the gift of we masterfully transform our deepest pain into our greatest growth and spiritual accomplishment. So your spiritual transformation is something that takes intention, like it takes will, like it takes choice. There may be times where the circumstances in themselves will undeniably transform us. However, if we simply know that darkness and despair is actually the ingredients for growth and spiritual transformation, then it allows us to be able to see those circumstances not purely as just hopeless, but as opportunity. How do we utilize that opportunity, that circumstance? And again, that's not always going to be easy. It's always going to be an incredibly relative thing. But with this card, I'll just say this and I'll get wrapping up, and then I guess we'll do one more, and then I think that'll be it for today, unless again we have any new signups on Patreon or PayPal today. So with this card, again, acknowledge that you came here as a soul to be able to experience the journey of being a dark angel, or whatever the dark angel archetype means to you. And in a lot of ways, we're seeing that in the collective right now. However, just as we are seeing in the collective, it's up to us individually to be able to begin to transform that despair into hope, to use hope to be able to transform that despair into growth. And so if you have been going through difficult time or struggling to heal an issue, the Dark Angel promises that even though the depths of despair, even through the depths of despair, you shall find the light. In your own time, you will rise again into trust, restored faith, and hope. All will be well. So just that simple idea of like all will be well. in the end, all will be well. And if things aren't well, then it's not the end. And another thing with this card is also just to really be able to kind of like know that things take time, to trust in the process of time as well. So I feel like there's a lot more to be able to talk about this card, but we'll just kind of conclude it here, and I'll read the invocation. So again, as I read this invocation, this is imagine you're saying this to yourself. I call upon the wisdom of unconditional love, that I may be empowered to see the true light within everything and everyone, including which holds the outward appearance of darkness. I honor the truth that darkness serves a purpose, and I treat it always as an opportunity to strengthen the light. I call upon the light of divine love to ignite the light of my own heart, strengthening it each day. Through divine grace, I am always held in the light. May divine grace shine through me and into the hearts and minds of all beings upon earth. So be it. Beautiful card. Go ahead and leave a comment of how that resonates with you. You can write out a little affirmation there as well. So we did pull an extra card. We don't normally do this. This one just kind of like jumped out, and I guess I was just kind of intuitively called out of curiosity to check into this one. So I'll read this one, and then we'll see how far we get into this. And again, for anybody who's tuned in right now, this will be our last reading for today. Every reading we do is for whoever's tuned in. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you guys haven't already yet, definitely check out the Patreon if you're interested in connecting into our community of conscious creators. We got some awesome upcoming events. And yeah, if you would like to be able to sign up as we're doing this, go ahead and do that. And then we will continue another reading after this. However, otherwise, this will be the last reading for today. So allow me to just do a couple things here real quick, and then we'll get right into our next reading. And please feel free to leave any comments in the chat of how this resonates with you as well. So all right. Jessica, so grateful for the life lessons that bring me closer to my higher self. Absolutely. Shanius. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Thank you so much. It's good to hear you. Maybe one day we shall chat. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. And birthday buddies. So, thanks for tuning in. Cool. All right. Okay. Let's dive into this reading. Thank you guys so much. Working towards that 122 on Patreon, and yeah, happy to be able to have everybody here. Okay. Looking at this card, the third ray of creative intelligence. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card here. You can see this kind of like this this figure of this female form, and they're almost kind of like clay. They're kind of like a stone, almost like a hardened stone clay. And yet out of them, out of like this husk, is breaking free their spirit, is breaking free. Like that's actually like the illumination of their soul there. If you take a look at that. Cammy, look at this piece of art. Kind of looks like you, Cammy, now that I think about it. As you just tuned in. Hey, Cammy. And yeah, again, you can see here this beautiful image of kind of like this husk version of oneself, the shell, and out of it emerging the butterfly, which again, we were talking about this. Again, see what happens here? How every card is like kind of linked to each other. It's crazy how this happens. So let's dive deep. Again, this will be our last reading for today. If we do have any signups on PayPal or Patreon, we'll keep going a little bit further after this. But thank you guys so much for joining in. And awesome. Thank you again, Kristen. So a little bonus one for Kristen. Kristen, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being such a wonderful leader, and thank you for your support on the Patreon and all your love. And yeah, let's dive a little bit deeper. So Cammy, if you want to join in on YouTube, you know where we are. So, much love to Cammy as well. So Soul Tribe Party. So okay, here we go. Third ray of creative intelligence. The third ray of creative intelligence brings the gift of practical spirituality and develops the talents for growing inspired creativity into the world. It empowers your manifestation. This ray brings many gifts, including new ideas and the practical support needed to bring them to life. The ability to organize, make connection and networks, and synthesize information from various sources into one coherent whole. Archangel Chamuel helps you receive this gift from the universe with love and intelligence. For some reason, my internet's kind of janky right now. If you guys are on YouTube and if you guys can at least hear me, drop an 1111 in the chat. I think the video's kind of janked up right now. Janked up. But hopefully it's still coming through. Same with TikTok. I don't know what that's about. So, oh, Kristen just gave me a shout out on Instagram stories. Thank you, Kristen. So, hey, Cammy just joined the party. So, this is like the pre-party. We can do some tarot tonight at the party too. So, it'll be fun. All right, let's dive deep. Again, if you're here, this message is for you. Drop any 1111s in the chat. So, woo, party. Okay. The third ray of creative intelligence will help you gain practicality to organize and manifest an idea or vision in the world. It gives you the drive and means to implement your plans. When this ray is active in our lives, we want to take action, bring something to life, not just to know or feel, but to do. With this oracle comes a message about taking action and believing that even the most inspired and spiritual ideas can have practical purpose in the world. Your visions and ideas can and should be worked with so they can manifest. Quick note for those of you like Patreon members, for those of you who are tuning in, who are joining the party tonight, can you guys hype it up in the Discord? Like, can you guys at least just like kind of confirm in the Discord, be like, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. Like, I don't think anybody's confirmed in the Discord. I know you guys are joining, but when you get a chance, just feel free to like plug that in and stuff like that. So, okay. You must believe in your capability and competence, your confidence and practical down-to-earth common sense, even if these are not always your strongest qualities. If you doubt your ability to achieve all that you dream of, remember that sometimes the universe puts dreams in our hearts to help us develop strengths that are dormant within us. I'm going to reread that. If you doubt your ability to achieve all that you dream of, remember that sometimes the universe puts dreams in our hearts to help us develop strengths that are dormant within us. This can bring to life a whole slew of abilities and talents we didn't know we had. We are given nudges in life to discover what we are made of, which can be so much more. Than what we might initially believed. The challenge with this ray is to take it one step at a time. Allow the universe to help you find patience, persistence, and a sense of humor that will help you stick to the process of creation. Do not try to do too much at once. Do not try to do too much at once. Do not try to do too much at once. I'm just gonna... Spirit wanted me to repeat that multiple times for some reason. I don't know. Apparently someone needed to hear it. So above, do not try to do too much at once, nor allow your project to get too complicated. Above all, do not give up before you have finally brought your inner light to life in the world. Archangel Chamuel, I like that name. Chamuel? Brings the gift of reclaiming lost energy, ideas, or talents that can help you fulfill your divine potential. This archangel helps you reawaken talents from this or other lifetimes that may have been cast aside. Perhaps your intuitive healing energy was put to one side as you studied or tended to family responsibilities. Perhaps your business sense or your ability to market yourself in a soulful and loving way is yet to be discovered. Maybe an ability to teach or the clear, confident voice of a writer is within you, waiting to be developed. The Archangel will help you find and apply with loving confidence whatever talents and abilities are required to turn your aspirations into manifestations. As this ray has a special connection with business, you are asked to remain open to learning and growing through financial success. This ray can help heal the tension that many feel between spirituality and financial abundance. It helps us recognize that the spirit feels joy in the successful physical world endeavors, particularly those that serve love. When a situation is a win-win for all individuals, for all involved, there is no reason at all to hold back from material success. It can be celebrated and enjoyed, whilst you maintain the true motivation for your work, which is love. And then there's the invocation here, which we'll read a little bit in a moment here. So beautiful, super powerful card to be able to receive here. So let's dive a little bit deeper. And again, for those of you tuning in right now, this will be our last reading for today, unless there's any new signups on PayPal or Patreon or upgrades on PayPal or Patreon. Let's keep going. So Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah, this is a very interesting card. I know for a lot of us, Patreon members and everything like that, this is a card that speaks to us very directly. And so again, with this card, it's really inviting us to be able to celebrate the idea that there is so much creative abundance within each and every single one of us, that we literally are like this vessel for creativity to be able to flow through. And so in this card, we want to be able to find the practical ways that we can apply it into this world. And I've kind of talked about this before, where a lot of times, as individuals, we have all of these creative ideas. Hey, Dr. Vincent, we have all these creative ideas that want to be able to move through us. But if we don't have the channels and the ways to be able to direct that energy, it creates like this like blockage literally inside of us, which can oftentimes kind of like lead to frustration. So with a card like this, it's important to be able to invest in yourself and to perhaps be able to like learn and study new ways that you can allow your message to be able to reach more people. I know a lot of creators sometimes, they'll like pour their heart and soul into their work, and yet if there's like a few tweaks that they were to make, their content perhaps would reach more people, or it would just leave a better impact, so to speak. And yet and still, they kind of like continue to put all of their energy into just kind of like doing something that they've kind of already gotten familiar with doing, but it's only reaching maybe like a much smaller group of people than it has the potential to be able to reach. And so again, with this card, it's not just about being able to honor the infinite creativity that's constantly just waiting to be bursted out of us, but a lot of it is also being able to just like honor the mindset of recognizing the value that we already hold. And I think as creators, sometimes this can become a bit of a challenging thing, but also something that we grow through, also something that we learn how to be able to transform over time, because your presence in itself is incredibly valuable, and the messages that you have to share is incredibly valuable. So once you allow yourself to acknowledge that the work that you put into your gifts and your creativity, it's not just about the fact that hey, you're doing it to be able to like make money. It's the fact that you are doing it to be able to help change the world. And so when you allow yourself to really continue to reflect on the story of what your why is, that in itself will be something that will help just kind of like dissolve away any sort of like guiltiness and pre-programmed conditioning related to the idea that it's like, oh, like I can't do this while still receiving the energy in return. You do want to be able to give from a place of altruism, a place from service, and at the same time check in with yourself to be able to make sure that you are open to being able to receive the cosmic service in return, which again can arrive to us through financial wealth as well. And so with this card, make maybe an ability to teach or clear, confident voice as a writer within you, waiting to be developed. This archangel will help you find and apply with loving confidence whatever talents and abilities are required to turn your aspirations into manifestations. So we'll just talk about this card for a little bit. I'm gonna, again, I just want to be mindful of my voice. It's exciting to be able to really reflect on the idea that each and every single one of us have these talents inside of us that perhaps we haven't even fully tapped into. And I think if you were to just kind of like look to other creators or people that you see online, and especially the ones that you admire, and you're just like, whoa, like I love the way they do their podcasts. I love the way they do their lives. I love the way they do their videos and things like that. And then we're constantly telling ourselves like, we're creating this distance between ourselves and what their creation, but at the same time we're acknowledging how much we appreciate it and how much we enjoy it, without fully recognizing that we have the ability to replicate something equally as meaningful and equally as valuable. So this is a card that really invites us to be able to get curious about the abilities that are still inside of us that maybe we haven't fully given the space to nurture, that maybe we haven't fully given the space to be able to tap into and develop and grow. So this is a card that's inviting us again to be able to take the time to be able to invest in ourselves. And again, a big part of this, which you hear me talking about a lot, is surround yourself with other creators. Surround yourself with other people that are on this journey of being able to tap into more of that creative expression. Tapping into creativity is like almost like a muscle, and the more you use it, the easier it gets. The more you use it, the more it just kind of flows through you. So yes, you want to be able to kind of like remove those emotional, those physical, those mental blocks. Limit the distractions where you can allow yourself to really just be able to say like, hey, you know what, I'm going to begin to focus a little bit more on this particular craft because this is the thing that I'm feeling within my heart. And so again, this idea that if you have these aspirations of like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur, or I want to do live tarot, or I want to work with people and do healing of some sort, those visions are inside of you because, again, you know, they're there. It's said here in particular, but again, it's basically this idea: the universe puts dreams in our hearts to help us develop strengths and gifts that are dormant within us. So this is a card that's really inviting us to be able to take that time to be able to reflect and meditate. What dreams are in your heart? What calling is within your heart? Oh, is that Kayla joined in? Hey Kayla, thank you for joining in, and thank you for the rose on TikTok. I'm not exactly sure how don't I exchange those for points and stuff like that? Thank you, Kayla. So again, this is a card that's really acknowledging that there is infinite creative intelligence inside of us, and this creative intelligence is dormant because it hasn't been given the environment to be able to thrive. And so what can you do to be able to reframe your environment and to reframe the structure of your own emotional body so that this energy has the permission to be able to move through itself in a form of expression? And so with this card, you know, this card, and I'll just speak on this and then I'll take a break here. And again, this will be our last reading for today, unless there's any new signups on PayPal or Patreon for our Patreon membership. So this card, again, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about the Cosmic Fool. The Cosmic Fool is the one that totally just embraces this infinite creative expression and this intuitive expression that is constantly within inside each and every single one of us. And yet, oftentimes, it is like the paradigms and the mental beliefs that we hold on to that limit us. You know, I kind of talked about this yesterday. You give an adult a guitar and you say, here, play this. And if they've never played that guitar before, they're going to be like, I don't know how to play this guitar. What are you talking about? I can't express creativity here. I don't want to embarrass myself. And then if you give that guitar to like a child and say, here, play with this guitar, that child is literally just going to pick up the guitar and start jamming on it and playing with it and making noise. What's the difference there? The only difference is the idea that the adult has conditioned themselves to believe that play is something that they shouldn't be doing, or play is something they can't do, or it's something that they have been told is stupid and stuff like that. But you want to be able to give yourself permission to let your creativity flow. And again, you know, being able to surround yourself with other artists and other creators and leaders and facilitators who are doing the same is a great way to be able to be inspired, because if they can do it, you can do it. And you don't have to do exactly what they're doing. What you want to be able to do is tap into the unique frequency of the gifts and the keys that you hold to be able to bring into this world. How do you tell a story? How do you hold meditation? How do you facilitate? How do you create videos? And that's not going to be something that's just like one answer. It's going to be something that's going to evolve. And so with creative intelligence, it's something that you build over time. It's not something where you try something once and you're just like, well, this didn't turn out how I wanted to, I'm never doing it again. Sometimes that happens. Allow yourself the flexibility to be able to fall forward, to fail forward. So as you're doing something creative, you try something, get some feedback, you adjust it, you go, you listen to your heart, you make some more, and you continue to just allow yourself to get excited about the fact that each time you return intentionally to this practice, you are developing this stream, and that stream becomes more fluid and more easy to be able to connect into. You are a conduit for creative intelligence. This card is a powerful reminder to be able to know that each and every single one of us has these blockages, has this kind of like gunk that we're holding on to, but it doesn't always have to be like that. And as we begin to like remove that and surround ourselves with other conscious creators and community members and have that support, it's a beautiful way to be able to help kind of like clear away that dirt, allow the energy to be able to flow, and really work towards this in a way where you begin to honor the fact that your gifts are something inside of you to be shared with this world, and this world is here to be able to honor them. So I'm going to read the invocation here. And I'll read this, and again, just allow yourself to imagine that you're saying this to yourself. Again, if this resonates with you, go ahead and drop an 1111 in the chat, and feel free to like do like an I am affirmation now. Be like, I am an infinite creative being. Like I am an artist, I am a writer, I am a storyteller. Whatever your creativity is, you know, creativity has no limits. So I am so many things and more. I now accept of my own free will the blessing and grace of the third ray of creative intelligence. I thank the universe for all assistance in turning my spiritual aspirations into successful, practical, real-world manifestations of light, grace, and love and empowerment. I gracefully receive the unconditional love intervention of Archangel Chamuel to recover and express all talents and abilities meant to help me fulfill my mission. Thank you, universe, for helping me manifest my divine dreams. I ask that, in unconditional love, this ray be made available to all who can benefit from it, according to divine wisdom, mercy, and compassion for the greatest good. So be it. So Very beautiful card. And again, I think this is a card that's great for the community that we have here, very creative community. And yeah, just honoring wherever you happen to be on your path of creative expression, and to get excited about being able to meet more of that creative individual within inside of you, because you are a creative individual simply by being. Like, you, by being here, you are a creative being. So therefore you carry with you the infinite creative intelligence. So cool. If that resonated with you guys, feel free to drop those 1111s in the chat. Kristen wrote in the chat, I am creative expression, practicing different forms of manifesting creative flow of my divine mission. Very well said, Kristen. Thank you for sharing. And Kristen, thank you again. That was like a bonus read there, but yeah, that's again a nice little contribution from Kristen, and going out to all the people who tune in. So I hope that message nurtured the seed inside of your creative heart. So at this point, team, like I said, we'll either conclude the reading here, or we will take a moment just to be able to see if there is anybody else who would still like to be able to receive a reading on air. And you can do that by contributing on PayPal or joining on Patreon. Or if you guys want to be able to like order any shift buttons or anything like that, even if anybody like wants to like order an item from the shop, you could do that, and that can initiate a reading as well. That's totally fine with me. So yeah, lots of awesome stuff happening in the community. Again, for our Patreon members, we do have our Conscious Creator Soul Tribe party tonight. So if you guys are looking to be able to connect with that, know that that's happening at 8 p.m. EDT for our Patreon members. Again, it's $11 a month. So if you guys are looking to join in on the Patreon, now is a great time to be able to do so. And we got regular events taking place. So cool. All right. I'll be right back, guys. I'm just going to go hit up the bathroom, and I'll keep an eye open for any contributions on the PayPal or Patreon. And if anything comes through in the next couple moments, we'll do another reading. If not, totally fine. It's been an awesome broadcast as always, and I'll be back here again Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. EDT. So thank you guys so much for your support, kindness, and yeah, I'll be right back. So here, listen to Zelda music. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Awesome. Just reading the comments there. Cool. All right, welcome back to those of you who may just be tuning in. And yeah, we've been doing some awesome readings for today. We're just at the point where we're deciding whether or not we're going to wrap up the broadcast, or we'll do another reading if there are any additional contributions on PayPal or Patreon. So if anybody would like to be able to initiate another reading, again, you can contribute on PayPal, $5, unless you want to pay more and contribute it forward, or sign up on the Patreon with the monthly membership and get lots of awesome benefits there as well. Thank you again to our recent Patreon supporters, to Cassius, to Eloise, to Lauren, to Jason, and to Kelly. And we're currently at 111 on Patreon, and working towards our next milestone of 122 there as well. So yeah, super excited just to be able to see who's tuning in today. So thank you again, everyone. And we'll just give it a couple more minutes on the clock. And again, if you guys want to reach out to me for any one-on-one sessions, please feel free to do that. Cami, thank you again for the one-on-one session that we did the other day. That was awesome. And yeah, super excited for tonight's Conscious Creator Soul Tribe party for our Patreon members. So again, if you guys are perhaps new to my content, know that the community of conscious creators that we've been building over the years is a super awesome place for you to not only to be able to come in and to be able to have your content featured with the community, for you to be able to collaborate with fellow creators, to be able to join in for private events, have access to me for conscious coaching, and yeah, lots of other cool benefits there. So all right. So I think we're probably gonna wrap it up. But if there are any surprises for any contributions, then feel free to do that now. And Kristen, thanks for the pins on Instagram. Are you coming to the part? Cool. Thanks, Kristen. Cool. All right. Checking my back ends. Yeah. Cool. All right, team. Okay. Last call on any contributions on PayPal or Patreon if you guys feel called to be able to get another reading on air. And again, we'll be back here Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. EDT. And if you guys haven't already yet, feel free to check out the Patreon. And yeah, you can always sign up there at any time. And especially if, or again, if you guys are looking to get any light guardian crystals, you guys can order those from the shop online. And again, if you sign up at the $33 level on Patreon, that's the best value level. So even if some of you are already signed up, feel free to check out the $33 level. You guys can always upgrade as you go. And yeah, I'd be more than happy to be able to send you guys a light guardian crystal, even if you're already signed up for the Patreon, but looking to be able to switch into that level as well. So cool. All right. All right, I think we're about ready to wrap it up. If anybody is signing up for anything, do me a favor, just let me know in the chat. Drop like a 555 in the chat. Let me know. And if not, then we will conclude the broadcast. That's totally fine. Sorry if the video has been a little bit janky. Some days the internet's better than others. I don't know why. So sometimes like the feed just kind of goes boom for some reason. So excuse me. Cool. I'm excited to be able to join in for the party tonight. And yeah, I got lots more cool stuff. I'm working on the Discord for the team, and yeah, keep an eye open there for updates. And again, fellow leading members, if you guys got updates if you guys got events and broadcasts that you're doing, definitely let us know in the Discord, and I'll help relay them to the community. So cool. All right, please feel free to leave any comments of gratitude in the chat. Let's wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna go get some lunch, take some time for myself, and do a little bit more work this afternoon. But I will see you guys later for our Conscious Creator Soul Party. So for those of you who are on the Patreon already, Zoom link for that is in the Discord. Feel free to leave some comments in the Discord. And yeah, super excited to be able to continue to evolve together on this journey. So on behalf of all the shifters out there, thank you so much for being who you are in the world. The shifter within me sees and honors the shifter within you. So with that said, we will conclude this broadcast. And again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, feel free to send me a direct message if you're interested in connecting with our team of conscious creators. And hopefully we'll see you at the Conscious Creator Soul Tribe party tonight. So signing off. I love you guys so much. Check out the Patreon when you can. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a beautiful, magical day. Until next time, keep it shifty. Talk to you guys later.